So, yesterday I found a missing kid's family, and I'm about to tell a story about this situation. So, one thing that I'll go ahead and say before I say anything else is that there are a couple of like posters up about him. I can't remember if they even said an age, but he looks like he's in his 20s, to be honest. So I'm assuming either the family is able to still put these posters up because they know nobody's going to stop them because people don't care anyway, sadly. Or maybe even though he's 18 plus, they're still able to do that because they have some mental label on him, which I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe he is under 18, but I'm pretty sure he's 20 something. He's not the first person I've seen on posters out here either. And it's kind of funny because it goes into this thing that I've seen people talking about on some vagabond group, which is that apparently the city I'm in, or maybe the county in general, is a place that people go when they want to disappear. And they're trying to get away from some situation, which is kind of funny because I kind of ended up here on some coincidence type stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I seen his family at this store and they got out the car screaming and arguing. It was just giving me straight flashbacks, honestly. But the mom and dad got out the car screaming and arguing. And they looked like they were checking and looking at the other flyers and hanging up some more flyers. I don't understand why they would hang more up in the same spot when there's still another one up, but that's what it looked like they were doing. And yeah, they were just screaming and arguing, and then after a while of yelling, and then they weren't fighting or anything, they were just arguing about whatever. And then one of the babies had got in between them, started pushing them apart as if they were fighting, but I guess, I don't know, they didn't want to fight there, but they fight at home or whatever. So I guess maybe the baby thought that they were going to start fighting. But yeah, as always, I can see exactly why he left. And his younger brother, who looks like he's a teenager or something, he looks like he wants out too, but he doesn't really want to because maybe he's the golden child. In fact, while I was looking at this situation, I could see some of the family dynamics and who plays what role and who's the forgotten child and who's the golden child or trying to be the golden child and all that. But he's from the West Coast. He's from the same state, but just a city that's a few hours away. I think it is anyway. That's also part of why, if possible, it's good to try to get out of the state. Especially if you know you have parents like that are going to run around hanging up flyers of you. That's a good reason to get out the state if possible. And yeah, I already talked about this stuff in the playlist about how to run away. I also have a playlist about how not to run away and escape an abuse situation under 18, because I really do feel like people who have to do this should really know how to do it safely and with the right mindset, because you can't run away on some desperate stuff or on some if I can even say this word, you can't run away on some suicidal, I don't care what happens anymore stuff. None of that. You can't do any of that. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. I may link this video in the description. This other girl who had to do the whole escape abuse thing in Layla till 18. Someone had recorded her singing this song that she wrote. I really liked it. It shows the different emotions you feel of having to run away and hide from police and all that stuff just to not be thrown back into abuse or even trafficking. Because just like I mentioned in another video where I was even reacting to an actual high-level SRE sex trafficking survivor and escapee, and just she was saying exactly what I had said before. These days, the Cash for Kids system is so popular to where it's kind of hard to be in an abuse situation or not have parents in general and not be in the Cash for Kids system. It's not like how it used to be back in the days where, like, I don't know, if your parents kicked you out, you could, like, just take care of yourself and get a job and all that. There's too much ageism and laws around that keep that from happening. So, when somebody runs away, they most likely are running away from not just their abuse, but also the Cash for Kids system and its lower level trafficking, or maybe even higher level trafficking, because like I talk about in other videos, some of these missing kids are running away from their sex traffickers and pimps and all that. And there's so much I could say about that, but I already kind of have videos about that. And when you call the police on these kids, all you're doing is throwing them back into a situation. There is no system put in place to help. If you really cared and you really wanted to help, maybe you like buy them a sandwich or something. But you don't call the police on people. When you call the police on people, that means somebody's going to jail, somebody's getting charged, or somebody's about to get shot. That's all that means. And literally in these news videos where they're talking about how missing kids were found, they're literally arresting the kids and handcuffing them and putting them in the back of the cop car. These kids are being sent back to trafficking and abuse. But you already know that, though, but you really don't care. Because the thing is, if people really cared about any of this stuff and they weren't just trying to send people back to abuse because they feel like the kid is quote-unquote being bad and all that, or because the kid is quote-unquote bad, crazy, and slow, if you really actually cared, when people come out and talk about their trafficking and all the things that they went through, you wouldn't be saying that like they're just soft or they're just saying that they got trafficked or molested for attention and all that stuff. People wouldn't say the things that they say if they cared. Honestly, if people really cared, none of this stuff would happen, because everything in the world only happens because people let it happen. But yeah, so saw this dude's family, this dude who ran away or moved out or whatever, who's quote unquote missing, and they were doing the usual dysfunctional family stuff right by the street. And yeah,